Good morning. So today we are designing these skill trees. So just a quick catch up on how the progression in this game is going to work. You will have a map screen and then you can either click on a story node, like do the next part of the story with the little dotted line with the little nodes, or you can click on one of the faction bases. So if you click on the human base, you'll be taken to this window where basically you can, so this is like a side-on view of the town, and you can scroll across and you'll see these different buildings which get better looking as you upgrade them. And when you click on them, it opens up a little skill tree. So if you click on the barracks, it will open up a little skill tree where you can buy things. And these are the unlocks that you get, which visibly improve the base. Right. So I started yesterday a little bit, just off stream. Just basically like, yeah, our next job is to just set these things up. I decided not to have a skill tree for every stat, but I like the idea of having a skill tree for every talent, ally, or weapon. With the main reason being that the level 4 version would be like make it start at level 2, if that makes sense. The fully upgraded version will mean that in a match, when you get this upgrade, it won't start at level 1, it will start at level 2. So that means it's easier to get those combos and easier to actually max out your character and start getting more currency during the fight. And, you know, it just makes you like considerably stronger. So these would be like big milestones to aim for. And I think it's nice, and so I like having some like theme to the to these upgrades, to these level ups, right? So, you know, it's the barracks, you're doing training regimens and marching drills and attack drills, and then here at the tavern we've got good food, max HP, good max HP for heroes, and we can kind of theme our, so you know, so you actually feel like you're investing in your town, you know. And then you've got so the ones that I've done are barracks and magic school. So here at magic school, there's like a symmetry to it. You know, you sort of these two towers that casually intersect between the witches and the wizards, and then here at the barracks, it's kind of this single stem with kind of like crowns and arms coming off it. So I think that's like, you know, it sort of makes sense. What are the things to consider here? I mean, one is that everything has 4 stages, so you can kind of continue a track. That the allies are like the main thing, but like, yeah, the talents are pretty good too. Like the talents will just improve that talent. The allies, yeah, it will do like some specific meaningful increase, ending with it the talent, or you know, the upgrade starting at level 2, which would be a really big improvement. And then level up choices, reroll choices for like maxing out a building, because basically it's up to the player whether they want to focus on a specific building or not, right? So for example, I would probably start the game by like I would probably do magic stuff because I like magic stuff, and I would probably do the blacksmith as well. There's no wrong or right answers as far as I know. I mean, players might figure out what's the best building to max out first, but that's, you know, that's just going to be a question of balance. Yeah. So I've kind of done this one, kind of given it a shape. I like it to have some thematic sense. Like I've put alchemy behind poison, even though they don't actually connect. But you'll need this one in order to get the next stage. So I guess you would have to have that. Little things like that. AoEs there, and you know, they have different connections of meaning, just building a different shape to it. Like, I wonder how much I want these branches of the skill tree to connect and intersect and stuff like that. Or whether I want them to be just like separate pieces. So like, I've started on the tavern, and my thinking in the tavern is that we've got one side which is like the sort of taverniness of the tavern, the legitimate business, and then the other side is the rogues and looters who go there. And then we can also include like a few general upgrades for all heroes kind of thing. So like, yeah, we've got, and I really like this. This was kind of the inspiration behind the entire idea, was the fact that you could have a tavern. Oh, this is barracks still. That you could have a tavern, and that you would be upgrading the stage. Now, ideally, I would obviously have like an interior visual here where you could see, oh, now and I've built a stage. You know, that would be nice, but we're not going to have time for that, sadly. So I just need to think about how I want these to extend. I like the idea that generally each of these buildings has like a couple main allies that kind of upgrade along with the building. So I think we're going to do the same thing. We're going to have like rogue and looter kind of side by side, just upgrading throughout this skill tree. So that should be simple to do. And so yeah, I'll explain my thought process as I go as to like why I'm designing things like this. It's just a skill tree, really. I mean, at the end of the day, it doesn't actually matter that much. Maybe that's a controversial thing to say, but like the actual placement of this skill tree doesn't matter that much. Obviously, there's a few things to consider. I mean, it's mainly just balance. It's mainly having some kind of connections between them so that there's a bit of a strategy, but really you still just kind of want to give the player freedom. And it's how you build these connections, like these dependencies, that kind of makes it interesting. And the shape of it, like, but then you look at, for example, what are the ones I'm thinking of, like Skyrim skill trees, and they're based on like star constellations. And it's just a little bit of like growth and dependency, but really you kind of have freedom to kind of attack the skill tree however you like. So for example, we'll unlock this hero Jack. And then, or like what we could also have, so let's do rations alongside, so rations just constantly growing each time you upgrade the building. And yeah, it's nice if there's like a bit of storytelling, like, oh, here's a stage with a bard, you know. Right, so rations just gets better and better. The stage could come in like here. So then the bard would come in there too. And then we have this up here, I guess. And then it would be like, how would we do it? I think we do 1 2 2 1, or 2 2, like we have to get 3 in there. We have to get 4 in the space of 3. So like, I think this makes sense. Feels a bit more musical, right? And the bard would have something like improved AoE, improved health, and then finally the level he starts at level 2. Okay, so lifesteal, assassin. So like, yeah, these are assassin-y things. So the assassin could come around the same place, and we could have something like, maybe it's like up here, and we have something like like guild of assassins, you know? Like you have to unlock a thing that like you now have like a thieves guild. Like I like that sort of telling of the story, like that's part of the point. So like we say thieves guild. And so, you know, of course, people play it just gives a bit of player expression, doesn't it? Because you're going to choose, like for me, I'll probably choose the magic one because I like magic and shit. But someone might pick, you know, someone might be like, oh, I like me some rogues and some skullduggery, so I'll pick this, you know. Yeah, let's do it like this. So Thieves Guild. Is it Thieves? I think it's not Thieves. It's not possessive. Yeah, Thieves Guild. Rather than Thieves Guild. Yeah, okay, Thieves Guild. And what does that do? Like, plus crit. Like, it would just be like plus crit for everyone. Everyone gets some boost. Plus evasion. Plus, you know, do like collect radius. Just that's like a bonus. And that, like, the idea would be to spread it across these. So we would have like, yeah, would it be like, would it just be like this maybe? No, it would be like this. Crit, for example, right? Or just both of them are like plus crit and evasion. Like the idea is just having some kind of like rhyme and reason to it. Like the players made a choice. The players chosen, I want to be all thiefy and shit. So they're going to have crit, they're going to have evasion. That's going to be better for all their characters, and that gives them something to lean into. We haven't even gotten onto artifacts yet. I'm going to have to kind of just sneak them in. So like we would have like a bundle maybe of like critical artifacts if they're not already unlocked by default. So yeah, if we have a Thieves Guild, it would be like 2 at the beginning. And then it would be fun to make some dependencies on this. So we could say like, in order to get the assassin, you have to have like, you have to have rogues and thieves guild basically, which makes sense, doesn't it? I mean, it's not rocket science. It's not like super involved stuff that's like super clever or anything. It's just, you know, these obvious things. Not always so obvious, I guess. And then yeah, maybe we can put the assassin there. I mean, we've got space here for something. And I like the idea of like doing more for heroes, like max HP for heroes, max like stats for heroes only, and then yeah, like somewhere in here I would want to have like Sean. Like basically you could give them like permanent upgrades, but I was thinking of doing that through the story actually. So rather than doing a mission, rather than unlocking a thing to like give a drastic improvement to a hero, that would be part of the story. So you'd have to play a like special story mission. I think that's more fun than just unlocking it. We can still show it here. Like, so we would have And so these would be story locked. And then it would be like Sean starts with armor. Sean, I don't know, like something cool and drastic, like Sean's ultimate also buffs allies, kind of thing, you know, like meaningful stuff. But here it's shown, but you only unlock it via the story. So it will show it to you here, but it will say this, complete the story to unlock this, and then it will just be unlocked. Right? I think that would be cool. Well, that's a better way to do it. We need to make kind of fast and harsh decisions, so yeah, that's how it's going to be for now until I change my mind. So these would be, I mean, I guess just to represent it, it's worth kind of just to help visualize it. We don't need the lines, they would be implicit. Kind of feels like it would make sense to swap Rogue and Looter here. So the assassin would be like 2 here, 2 here. And then lifesteal could be here. Then I guess we've got space for something here. And here. But let's move on. So dagger provisions is interesting. So let's do the blacksmith. So we want hammer and shield bearer. It's like they're sort of together. Yeah, so we can do these two in the same way we've done all the others, where basically we just have one in each tier. Makes sense. Let's move this out of the way for now. And yeah, it makes sense that we have a lot of weapons here, because it's a weapon shop. That's kind of what's fun about this, is like, yeah, if you care about weapons, you unlock the blacksmith, and that's just telling a story, isn't it? It's nothing crazy, but it's better than just a skill tree, isn't it? It's like, let's have a themed skill tree that sort of is reminiscent of RTS games a little bit, in that you have buildings that you upgrade, and that improves your army. But yeah, I want to do something a bit different. I'm going to put these guys on the same track. So like hammerer really kind of does become blacksmith. It's nice to just shake things up a bit, and then, you know, we can always change things. We're just kind of seeing what works best. And then, of course, players who play it can sort of tell me, like, oh, this skill tree works, this one doesn't. And then I can, like, okay, let's change the ones that are working less well to the ones that are working well and maybe experiment a bit. But I think basically what we're trying to do is we're trying to have some kind of freedom, but also a sense of progression and dependencies. And a little bit of storytelling, like a little bit of like, you're not just getting AoE, you're getting a stage. And while you have to fully upgrade the barracks to get to even look at the knight, or to fully upgrade your soldier, to fully upgrade your hammerer, you can do that quite quickly actually in the blacksmith. And is that balanced? Is that okay? Does that mean it's objectively better just to like unlock the smithy? Could that be mitigated by just messing with the prices? Or yeah, I mean, like, I don't know. I just kind of don't want it to be too symmetrical. I don't want it to be the same in each case. So it's like, yeah, here you can unlock your blacksmith quite quickly. You can fully, yeah, you can unlock. Well, the thing is, a lot of these I think you might already own. But yeah, you can unlock the blacksmith quite quickly, but the knight takes a bit longer. You have to fully upgrade the barracks, but then you sort of expect people to fully upgrade the barracks first anyway. So it's like the first one available. Or is that just fair to sort of say, like, no, you need both, really? Like, I don't know. I think it's interesting. I mean, I'm thinking actually for these combo units, like, none of them are actually, like, they're all actually unlocked simply by having... So, like, you can get the Fire Witch without having unlocked this node. This just makes her stronger. It'd be cool if it kind of... I could make it look like a sword. So like if this was... What have I done? Something like that would look like a sword. Little bit, like just as long as they each have their own kind of shape, I'm happy. Yeah, and do we want to move dagger provisions over here? Let's see. One of the cool things I can do is just to quickly count them. 103 up, so that's 64 sticky notes. and this is 68 sticky notes. So there's only 4 more in here. That's not a big difference. Whereas here we have 54. So we could, so with all of them, 78 sticky notes. So if anything, we would want to move things out. So let's put shield provisions in the market. And we're kind of focused here on think about where these go. Is that good, or should this just come down? And I think it might be fun, like you know, I'm letting the player like choose their weapon, you know. Like they get to choose the thing that they want to make strong, you know. Call this we have like whetstone, damage, and piercing. Fine handles, plus. I don't know. Like basically like blacksmith themed stuff would be good. The thing is, we want to do these like we need all the talents, weapons, and characters in there, and then the green ones are like, yeah, these are sort of just global stats, but they're kind of also just for flavor. So they should always be flavored. So like, yeah, good food, attack drills, like they always have a name which is like So it's like, yeah, you'll be kind of choosing your favored weapons and stuff, and upgrading that first. I mean, we'll see how it actually plays out. A lot is going to depend on basically how this is organized and what's here and what's not here. Like you could easily like bundle a few of these things together. You could I don't know, you could get rid of these upgrade ones entirely and just focus on the, I guess one thing I'm worried about is, so yeah, I mean, I can edit this as I go. The thing is, I've got some meat to get it working and to sort of stress test whatever my plan is for programming this, which I've already done, but just making sure that works. And I've got content to build, and as I design, I can decide like if this building configuration is correct, and so on. So yeah, that would be blacksmith, and we've got 70. So we've got considerably more in there than in the other places. So that's why, like, but this is where it would be fun to have like quite themed upgrades here. But I suppose these can all just be named, even if they're and they don't necessarily have to be dependent on each other. See, that's all the ways that we can, make this work. Like, edit it as we go. But I'm just starting by building the bigger picture. It's nice to do it in this visual way. Okay, so that's blacksmith. I think fine for now. That's a good first draft. Same with barracks, magic school. So now we can we started on the tavern here. So yeah, lifesteal. Like, does that make sense for it to be here? And how many have we got like that? 55. So we could stand to have a couple more. So yeah, if we've got the bard and then like scroll of inspiration, which can actually start here. And then you could kind of need level 3 bard and like your improved stage to unlock that, which sort of makes sense. Like, I'm just thinking, yeah, maybe there should be more of these little connections dotted about the place. Yes, it's like thieves and entertainment and food. I suppose drink as well, but that's kind of implied. Yeah, and you make your thieves guild to get the assassin. Like, it's pretty minor stuff. It's just enough to like tell that story and to be like, okay, yeah, this has been thought about. It's not just randomly plopped. And there's just enough different ways you can go. And yeah, these just always at the top being like unconnected. You can just get them as soon as you've unlocked the tier. And yeah, that's pretty good, I think. Have a go at the church. I mean, it doesn't have to be balanced between each one. I could just make the more expensive building, like the better buildings, more expensive. But again, the balance doesn't really matter here. It's more about storytelling and just the sort of final form. So like once you've unlocked everything, regardless of what the best route is, players can figure that out for themselves. There doesn't have to be. I don't have to balance all the routes. I don't think that's necessary. I think the players can figure out what the best route is, and at the end of the day, once they've unlocked everything, they're going to be balanced with any other player as well. So, in terms of stats. So yeah, don't have to worry about it too much. So that leaves market and church. Let's do church because we've already started it. And I like the idea that these two are... Yeah, so... Get rid of these lines. So there's Rowan. And then they've got the priest and the healer, the heal side by side. So this is how you unlock these, this is how you improve those. So if you think healing is the best thing, this will be the building you'll be investing in first. It doesn't matter, it doesn't have to be perfectly tidy, but let's kind of do it while I think. Alright. So yeah, let's make space for these because we want to just extend this as a pillar. We don't need these. Although all healing makes sense. And in a world of magic where priests are healers, churches are hospitals, right? Okay, crit rate and luck, that makes sense. They're sort of luck based. Mind maps are really good. They really help you get a sense of what you're doing. I can't think of a better format to be doing this in. Like paper's fine, but it's a bit clunky. It's the quickest time from idea to mental testing of it. Like it to be shaped like a cross, but I don't think that's going to happen. I think that's too wacky a shape. But it's nice to have this kind of order and balance to it. So the church ends up like woefully low on stuff. So is there anything from outside the church that maybe we could bring in? Like maybe from here, Flame of the West and Mirror Blade. I mean, we could just have more of these ones, more ones that just do stuff across the board. Like maybe we can get a bit more of that cross shape, which would be fun. So like we have something heal. We could take lifesteal from, where was lifesteal? Lifesteal's in the tavern. And then what would these be? This would be something like, yeah, crit, luck, random blessings. And then here in the market, we're really like, so we've got boots, bow. There's no actual characters here. So maybe we can take, like, dagger. We could put dagger in the market. But shield, sword, hammer. I mean, hammer could be in the market as well. Right? Just to sort of take some stuff out of blacksmith, which has the most things. Like, we take the tower out. And the tower could go to, like, there's nowhere that it easily fits. Maybe the church? This would be a funny one. It wouldn't really make much sense. Let's put it in the market for now. Yeah. What else could we do? Because the market, I'm kind of actually like, there's not actually a lot of stuff here. Luck, boots, that makes sense. Luck could be in the church though. Shield provisions, dagger provisions. Could be barracks actually. Explosive arrow, throwing daggers, they kind of make sense here as well. How many have we actually got here already? 44, so it's not too low actually. And we could put more, like we could even like lump in all of our like artifact choices here, just so that players can actually like target that, right? So if players feel like, no, actually, and this is a smart thing to consider, no, the best thing to have is rerolls on your artifacts. That is the best key to survival, which might actually be true. So they'll be like, I'm going to be smart. I'm going to go to the market, and then they'll get what they ordered there, basically, which would be fun. So let's try that. That's remarkably small. All right. So luck, boots. What's like? What would be the pillars of the market? I guess it wouldn't really have pillars. Might even just like offer things in ranges, like as they are. But yeah, there's starter fact. That's like the most important one, and you should like have to get that. Like that's really really good. That's a really 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 good thing to have, and it's cheap. Like the game is definitely not balanced in the sense that this is by far 100% the best pick you could get. I might even make that the tutorial. We could put that in the church. Like I'm gonna make it that you have to get that. Like there's just simply no choice. And then we could have with the market, like, yeah, maybe instead of having these things dotted up here, they would just be part of the market, and they would be like the core part of the market, with everything else being like side stuff. So it'd be like, so never mind bow and crossbow, put those to the side. Level up. I think we could actually fit them. Yeah, you should need a level 2 market. And then basically each of these okay. And then would they extend up to the top? Yeah, I guess they would. And they're like bottom heavy rather than top heavy because I want players to be able to choose to lean into it a bit, but not too much. So that little bit is like, yeah, bottom heavy. You've unlocked market level 2. You can now get 2. Should they all be together? Does that feel a bit like paint by numbers? Or is it like, no, I'm going to the market to increase my ability to, you know, to trade shit, which is kind of like what a reroll is. To like have more choices, you know, that's why I go to the market. I don't know. Let's work around this for now. So explosive arrow would be like, because we can have these like 2 weapons. I hate that wonkiness. There we go. So it's like, here's a weapon shop kind of thing. Shield provisions is OP. It's still tricky to get, but it is very good. And might actually change even. I don't know, we'll have to see. Might be kind of too OP-ish. Okay. Can always roll this back, but yeah, I think it kind of will make things more even. We could have more, but basically I think 4 is enough for each, and then you can spend gold on it. Dagger provisions, yeah, let's put that next to shield provisions. So these all kind of tuck together. They kind of match each other thematically, like this is sort of a weapons district, you know. And then it's like, yeah, we can do, I think, a similar thing over here. Again, for some kind of symmetry. I guess. Do we want symmetry? Is symmetry good here? Yeah, I think symmetry is fun here. Okay. So where does that leave us? Does the tower belong here? Yeah, I mean, I think the thing is, like, so I don't know, like, what is some theory? I could watch a YouTube video or something, like, what is the best way to design what is the best way to design, how to design a skill tree, right? The thing is, I think it always just depends on your game, doesn't it? So what we've got is a strong reliance on actually, like, these are the upgrades in the game. Which one do you want to upgrade? And of course, it would make sense to upgrade one really, really strongly as much as you can, and then since you've upgraded it so much, and then get it in the match, and it's, you know, that's just going to be a strong way to fight, which means, like, oh, okay, I've got strong soldiers. I'm going to get strong soldiers. And then I'm going to, like, kind of be OP. And that's fun. And then you get, like, okay, well, I've maxed out my soldier, but now I'm going to get my ranger up. So actually, soldiers and rangers are my best choices. And that is going to be a player choice, which eventually becomes redundant because they'll have just maxed out everything anyway. So everything will be balanced and even. But I think this is a good start. And you can sort of see pattern and shape here, and it's quite fun. A little bit of imbalance here because you've got, like, a perfect balance except for this bit's missing, so is there something we can grab from elsewhere that isn't quite fitting? I don't know. Maybe. But we could take that as a kind of, like, this is good enough so far, and start making this basically, and then it's as we play with it and find its quirks. Then yeah. I'm just kind of trying to look for issues with it, problems that I have, and the thing is, it's just really difficult to see. It's really difficult to tell if it's, like, is this going to work or not? Is this going to be good? Are there, like, gaping stupidities here? Like, are there just points where it could be better? I don't know. Just before I commit to kind of, like, building it in the game. So thinking of that, so basically the next thing I have to do is have all of these and write them down, put them in the code, basically. And this is one where, like, some AI or something might be helpful. So we go leafs. and there is no such one called HP anymore. But basically, we just have to write in all of the. So we write in the prerequisites, like what are the ones that it needs. I'll show you what is a leaf. So the name, description. What are the previous upgrades required to unlock it? Which characters does it apply to? What is the stat that it's upgrading? And by how much? And you can have lists there, and just this has to correspond to the same position in the list. And then we have the cost, and if it's a milestone, then we play a little cutscene where the house upgrades, but we don't need to worry about that yet. So I need to write all of these. That's what I have to do. And then, as a separate task, I have to make them in here and put them in the places where they belong. So I just need to. I'll have this barracks. Let's open this. Yeah, barracks is open by default, and I would just have to go in there and grab these and move them. But let me think if there's a way I can avoid having to do that. I think it might actually be best, rather than having them exist there and here, right? So every time I make one, I have to write it out here, and then I have to move it. The thing is, once I've made it here, I can move it around in there as I please, and I don't have to come back to this. But I wonder if it might actually be better to give leaves an X-pos and a Y-pos, and write in the X-pos and Y-pos, and then instantiate them into here. This way I don't have to make them. The thing is, that's a bit tricky with the lines that show like so if you've unlocked this, that line turns white, letting you know that you have access to the next one in the chain, basically. So I need to think. Because basically, it's not too bad for me to just. So I would go HP 4, and all I have to do is name it. So HP 3, name it and position it, and then I move on to the next one. I don't have to do any other setup. So that's not too bad. And if I need to move it from one place to another entirely, that's fine. I just move them. So 4 there should be. And oh no, wait, actually I think they should be in a different building. This should be part of the church. Okay, fine. Like, it's not too bad. Especially if I can copy paste groups of 4 like that. And then just move them around. The alternative. So that's a bit annoying to have to do that. I could skip that entirely and instead write an X-pos and a Y-pos for each of these, and then just have it instantiate at that spot. And then I would have to do something with the lines where it's like stretch the line to the next one in the chain, but they're not always perfectly straight. Like, some of them go, like some of them zigzag. The lines aren't just leading to the next one above it. So, and some of them don't have lines. So I think it might actually be easier just to do it this method. It feels a bit crude. Wait, are they not all the same position X? Yeah, so. And then I can just place them as I please. So we go Right, let's make another one. Put it over here. Like use. And then I think that's like a good size. So I'm happy with that as a size. Maybe it could be smaller. Maybe we could get away with these buttons being smaller and just being able to see the full tier, because we would have a button just below. So we would have, I mean, I might as well start doing it. So all of these would be higher up. I mean, maybe this can just be smaller. But I think the animation uses scale. So wait, why can't I change the width and height? Is it because it's a prefab variant? Why? So why can't I? Why can't I edit these? Is that a prefab? I think that might be a prefab variant thing. But then why would I be able to do scale then? Why like? Is it because it's animated? Interesting. What if? So I just want to try making them a little bit smaller. What if we? Oh, I can't. I think this is not. It's not that simple. Just what if we do Z position? It's a bit cheeky. I think that shouldn't make any difference. Well, we're going to do a full UI overhaul. And so for now, I think we just assume that, like, yeah, so those are all a little bit higher. Here's our... So we'll call this barracks 1. And I guess... Yeah, we would color it based on... So I don't actually have to like do any setup here, because it will find this and then do the name and everything for me. So all I need to do is get the name of the object and the position of it, and the game will do the rest. Okay. And then so I want to sort of get into a space where I'm like, let's just make this like quite high. And then how do we do that? How do we do this? Scroll bar vertical. So I just need to have that handy to like move to you know, to move around in. And then we would have like another one like this. should be barracks 2, and so on. That's how we would do it. And we can get rid of these. So this would be based on the Miro. If this is the barracks, this would be attack drills. And we want to get these numbers exactly right. So barracks is 150, so that's the bottom one, and that sits neatly at the bottom. If it was a 0, it would be only half poking out, right? Yeah. And this does not have a line. And then this one should be, so that's 150. I think 200 is a good gap between each one. This would be exactly minus 200. And then okay, so this one would be so this is going to be fairly tedious. And then so this would be and yeah, I guess I'd have to copy and paste. So it'd be like one. Yeah, nice. So then that's 350 from 350. So I think this would be 350. And this would be 350. And it needs to be much taller, I think. So at least 350. So let's go with like 4.5K. Content. Okay. And so yeah, we'll have to do a fair bit of like intelligent copy and pasting. So this is the long one. So the line we'll have to reach up to the next one. So it's going to be like, actually like 900 at least. Surprised this doesn't have to be longer than that. Okay, yeah, let's do 500. And then that reaches all the way to the top. And then so we can take that length and then get all our other, which is the other two, paste that. And then we've got, yeah, that one's empty. Yeah, okay, this would work. It's fairly tedious, but I think it is good to have the freedom of being able to move these as I please, and I think it would be a bit awkward to sort of try and do it procedurally. So we have, so this would be Ranger. Okay, and then that's Ranger done. So that was obviously a lot less painful, and we would have like a format for ones where, it's one per tier or 1, 2, 2, however it is. We can like copy and paste quite easily. Just need to change the names. So if we were doing, so I'm going to put this over here. I'm going to add the tab so I can see it. So then Sean, let's skip Sean now, and then we would do one which is Bannerman. In fact, let's do these. So if that's 150, this would be 150, 150. And I'm gonna, it's nice that I can see the little outlines. It's actually useful. Save me a bit of time. Okay. And how should I organize it? I think it would be better actually to not have the barracks like split up between them, but actually just have the the like core root buildings at the top, and the rest can just be in whatever order. Maybe order like left to right would actually be better. So we go just so it's easier for me to find and visualize. Left to right. Okay, so what if we wanted so let's copy attack drills. And it would actually be before soldier. I guess it would be, I don't know, I guess I shouldn't worry too much about the order here. So this would be attack, speed, And I guess I'll just get better at doing this faster as I go. I think I want to make these black, just so that they're easy to spot. Feels lucky. Okay, so then, but these two are higher. So it would be exactly, this one would be 350, so this would be and then this line, oh come on, would need to reach, I guess, why has it disappeared? Oh, because that's position. So that should work. All right, let's start with that for now. I think actually I should like test this out. So we have barracks 1, 2, 3, 4. And so so these need to exist here. So let's just and of course again we can we can do some clever copying and pasting to make this go a bit quicker. don't know, 1, 3, 4, 6, 10. Not sure about what the balancing is going to be there. So as long as there's, like, I should use constants really, like, so we would have although, yeah, that might actually be more expensive. Because, like, you're actually building the building. That would be more expensive than upgrading it. So, yeah, what if that's actually, like the milestone should be expensive. Doesn't really matter, but just as long as I'm pointing to it. Then we would have go. So with the soldier, I need to say, because it's not just a milestone, it would have and then this would, so upgrades, so the soldier has the upgrade of soldier, so it unlocks that. And then it would have a stat. And what did we say? We said damage and then armor. So And I guess it increases their damage. And are we talking damage multiplier or just flat damage? I think it's damage multiplier. So it'd be like 10%. So it'd be add buff would be, so let's look at it. Apply leaf would be damage X. So yeah, that would be a percentage. So damage X 0.1F, so that would be a 10% damage increase. And then how do we say something starts at 2? We would have to like have something in it that's like, I think we just, yeah. How would we do that? So like when we apply leaf, so this is, yeah, this is new. Like, how do we actually make it? So if the stat is character so if we have so let's say we wanted to say soldier, so yeah, characters, get character soldier dot prereqs. No, so it'd be upgrade. And okay. So that's how you would make something level 2. So this would be so I think the easiest way to do that I can think of, you can always change it later. That's how it would work. So, I mean, I expect that to work. We'll see. But yeah, we populated the list. He's not. I'm just wondering if the soldier could find its way back on the list somehow by accident. But I don't think so. Oh, it's too hot. So we removed the prereqs of the level 2, meaning it should appear as a possible level up choice, even if you don't have the prereq. And we removed the chance of you getting the character. Yeah, so that works, I think. And then so for soldier level 4, we don't do stats, characters, anything like that. We do level 2 character equals soldier. And then that would be our what you call it, template for future characters. And I like to bracket these just so it's easy to kind of navigate this kind of folder. Okay, so that's soldier, and then I would do another one for ranger. Which should just be a simple case of okay. Yes, then we've got attack drills. Okay, so what this does... Oh, Prev upgrade names. I need to make sure I do this. And then the ranger would have range and pierce. And level 2 soldier would have to also have barracks 2. And so this is where it's a bit fiddly, but this is the engine I can make. Wait, what? That soldier should be... Oh, being stupid. Yeah, private upgrade names. And so yeah, if I move them around, I just have to like change some of these buildings, like some of these names here. It's a bit of a pain, so I just need to like make sure I consider before, like I can't just move shit around too easily. I have to consider every change. It's like a few steps to doing each change. And yeah, it would be nice to get this like copied and pasted nicely before copying and pasting this a bunch of times, like get it right. Okay. So yeah, barracks 2 would require barracks 1. I'll copy and paste this again from barracks, because yeah, they should always at least be dependent on its previous. And then this would have characters. Where did I put it for soldier? Yeah, characters, we said before, stats. So I think we need some like public static list human character and then for leaf here I would want to say, so actually we want a list of strings. And then right at the bottom where we do all our for each stuff, yeah, so like lists. So that's one of them, the hero list, and then we've got another one. Do we not have a list of character list? There's a fair bit that goes into each of these things. Like, we can always change these numbers as we go. I'm just trying to think as I go if there's any way to like streamline this process and basically just be a bit more lazy somehow if we can. Like, it's not even lazy, it's just we you know, being efficient with our time. And then the cost of these would be like, yeah, I guess we'll make a benchmark. This would actually just be across all of them, and it would actually be the same, like standard cost. It's just the standard cost for now, and we can like change that later. And then we've got attack speed, which is going to be more similar to this. And here we might find ourselves having to like, because I don't know if I have the capacity to do talents in the same way. So let's have a look. So the first one unlocks attack speed if it's not unlocked already. And then yeah, their dependencies are all correct. And then so characters, none of them would have characters. So how do we improve on... And so this is where we might have to like do that big change to the way talents are like presented. So, or the way talents are calculated. So an upgrade yeah, this is going to be a big one. So for now, let's just kind of get it right at this end. So it would have, and then it would be, we would have to say, if it's a talent one, talents, if the dot upgrades So how do we check that this is a leaf that improves the talent? Let's just do it the way I can imagine doing it for now. Public string talent equals NA. For each. And then we would do this. See, this is where it gets tricky, because what we would want is the character to have a stat when we can just say, anytime we want to increase a stat, we just, would use like a pre-made bit of code. But at the moment, I think, like, especially in this heat, I'm just like, let's just copy paste. be like stat equals I think I do have to do this properly. Okay, so I think I have to make Can I do that? Is this, would this work? But would this work? Because that would make my life easier. So max HP is that, and then we just go all stats dot add max HP. And then this sprite would have to be like, so where do we set the sprite? What could we say? So on a character, we go public and yeah, I really want to get the sprites all in one place, so I don't have to scroll past it each time. So then we do max HP dot value do you mean? Okay, so I have a stat now. What's wrong with that? Invalid initializer member deck. Like, that just doesn't mean anything. That doesn't mean anything at all. Like, what's wrong with that? What's wrong with that? Faction, sure. Why can't I, like, just why? But it just simply and plainly does. That's what annoys me with this. Like, there is stat. It's part of the character class called max HP, and it is a copy of the max HP stat from there. So, I mean, what if I just said it was new stat? That's allowed, but I can't modify it. So is it here that I would do it? Thing is, that just seems rather awkward. But max HP equals new stat. But why can't I just change the value of it? I just, like, max HP, like, why can't I just change the value of that? But why? What do you mean it doesn't exist in the current context? Like, it plainly does. Like, why? Stat max HP equals new stat. Like, I don't understand. Why can't I edit that? He has a stat. So I just can't do it here? Like, why? But why can't I just... That just really annoys me. Like, why can't I just have it normal? Okay, you know what? I am going to go back to... Let's just copy paste the shit out of it then. Because I don't know. Like, I wish I had some kind of mentor or something to help me with this shit. Because it's a bit rich for, like... Like, just explain to me, like... Because it's obvious what I'm trying to do. Why won't it just do it? Like, it's just really frustrating. Because it just means that every time we apply a stat, we have to do this, like, spaghetti code where we check for the name. When what I would like is for, like, a character just to have a list of stats. But, like... I just can't seem to fundamentally get it to work with the, like, code structure. This bloody, like, and it's annoying that I can't, like, just bracket out stuff that's all these sprites, because then I could just, like, zoom past them. But yeah, I should have put all the sprites in the same place. Right, so we would make a character, we would say it's just really annoying that I can't just be like max HP as a stat, you know? Max HP is a stat. Like, why can't I do it like that? Like, max HP is a stat. Why can't I have that? So public stat equals new stat. That's cool. Yeah, let's just call this max XP or max FP, like fuck points. equals new stat. So it'd be, yeah, max HP equals new stat. Or could we do the, yeah, stats dot copy stat max HP. Yeah, stats dot get stat. And then it's just annoying because like I just want to be able to. And I just can't edit anything about. I can't edit anything about max HP. Like I can't just. I can't do it in here. So like, I mean, I guess I'm just like I can figure ways around it. It's just I'm trying to get it to work the way I think it should work, and it just doesn't. So like max HP equals. So we've already said that just equals a stat, which is a copy of that, which is easy to do. So do I then have to like to edit any stats? I would have to be like character. New character equals new character dot and then we do this. With this shit. New character. And then so I have to go through each and every one of my characters, and there are a lot of them, and basically do that. When really what I would like to do, and I really don't see why it can't just be like this. Oh, sorry, max HP dot value, because she's got a stat called max HP. It's called yeah, she's got a stat, and I just want to edit that stat. But I can't do it here. I can change speed, I can change a number, but I can't change a number within the thing. right? Just why? Why not? Does max HP just... Of course it exists in the current context. If I said max HP equals null, you'd accept it. So why can't I just say max HP dot one of the things I've got in there, names, dot value? Why can't I just change that? Why can't I just change that? Read only object. Like, what are you talking about? Object? Like, it's a stat. We know what it is. It's not come out of nowhere. Characters have a stat. So what's actually harder? So I have to go through each of these and basically say, no, 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 don't say that. And I have to do that for each of their stats. Like, that's bullshit. That's just annoying. That's going to take too long. Why can't I just... So I would have to like fundamentally like, so the way I used to do it is I wouldn't just add straight into a list. I would have it up here, like, and then we add all of those to the list and we set that up here. But if there's any further setup to be done, we do it down here. So we would have like, this is how I used to do it. We would have like public character Sean, and then we would set Sean up, given all the stats he wants. So it would be like, yeah, what if we had that? So like public, or just, yeah, private character Sean, and then it would be Sean equals yeah, we just do the new list thing. Sean.names equals new list Sean, and this would be new character, so this would be like default, so it would default to like the standard character, and then I can just go in and change anything that's different about him to the others. So of course it would be names, descriptions, and then just anything I wanted to change, I would change it. Like anything that's outside of the norm. And so it would look very much like the same script. And then finally we just add Sean. And then it's easy to like reference him from outside and so on. But like, again, this project, I did it differently because I started doing it with vibe coding, and now that just seems like too difficult to change. So I guess with vibe coding, I learned like my judgment is actually going to be better than a lot of AI things, or at least that like you need to be able to see it all the way through, and the AI is just not able to do that, at least not yet. And I think even when it can, it's going to be like expensive. So we do want this. Control Z too much, yes, but this is just So yeah, lessons for next project, I guess. So what's, because basically I could change that and I could make it so that the way I want to do the stats works. But instead, I think it's actually going to be easier just to copy paste a switch case where we take each and every stat and we say, right, if this leaf is a talent, then we're going to take the stat on the talent. What do you mean upgrades does not have a definition for get upgrade? What the fuck are you on about? I guess actually this one won't be too difficult. We would say yeah, honestly, why, what do you mean? What the hell are you talking about? There's no such thing. Like, that's just infuriating. Why? What is this? What are you fucking on about? So yeah, each upgrade can have a stat attached to it. And then so rations. So basically talents like just don't have anything, they just do it by name. But if we said stat equals, and again, are we gonna have the same thing? Stat equals stat copy stat. And then we have to say which is so stupid that I have to do it like that. I just want to say stat. Can I do that? Stat.value. No, it's just it's just really annoying that I can't do that. So for each of the talents, I'm going to have to basically just add this line afterwards. I'm just putting it like this so it's going to be easier to copy. And this is so messy. So now I have to like add this at the bottom. of each one. Of each of my talents. Like, that's going to be supremely annoying. So yeah, next time I am just going to make them like, I'm not going to add a new thing. I'm going to make the thing at the top, and then we add, and then we edit, and then add that. That was a much better way of doing things. This is just horrendous. So thank you, AI, for setting it up like this, but obviously doesn't work for all the scenarios that we need it for. So in the leaf, we'll be able to say, so hopefully we don't have to do a switch case. We say, what's wrong with this? Mm-hmm. Oh, do you want me to do that? Okay. Okay. I think it's only ever going to be one, so it'll be leaf dot. So really, actually, it would be upgrade. Plus equals. Okay, so that would upgrade the value of a certain stat. And then over in GM, so this is a for each upgrade in upgrades. Is that right? So then it would be like another switch case, basically. I'm sort of thinking I might actually have to do that, and it's going to be a real pain in the ass. But I might have to actually just do that one where I'd like just refactor everything. Thing is, I just like refactor the entire game, and then like fucking 3 months go by, and I'm like no further along. That's happened before, basically. Like I'm just wary of that. So if like this would be the hack to get it to work now. We just go through each instance of these numbers and we just say that. But actually, if I want to get this to work properly as I want it to, where basically just things can have stats and we can modify those stats and they have lists of stats, so we can just say like, oh, well, whatever stat we've given you here. The thing is, the game works. It's just, just for this upgrading, like, just for these little things that I want to add, I have to do these big changes to code, and it's like this is a bit of a waste of time if I am eventually gonna like do it all properly. Yeah, like I think I have to do that. So a character, and then like the first thing I want to do is do the sprites properly. So just put all the sprites on one thing, and then everything can just reference that. This just feels like it's just annoying because this is refactoring. This is like, but basically, yeah, character needs to be something that we set up. We don't just add new character to a list. We have the character set up as like an object that anything can reference. And then it should be, because it's just because of that I can't just be like, oh yeah, character has a stat, modify that stat. No. You have to make like a new one, or you have to be like, okay, this is make it from scratch, which means I have to like copy all the information, but then like it's just an awkward way to do things. So the first thing would be, I mean, at least we can kind of use this and be like, look, so sprites, they'd all go, but we could say, so just as an example, so I would just like start by the characters, heroes, public, character. So if it's that, and if it's that, then just change it to that. You see there's so many. Wait, is there any? If I just do that to all. Okay, so I'm going to grab all of this to start with. And put that in a new script, if I don't have it already, called sprites. Oh, I do have it. Then we have to say Sean equals so yeah, we just go never mind that. Sean dot and then so now say that and then we would have like In fact, it would be like stats. We would want to do the same here. Yeah. Um, okay. See, I'm still like fucking learning the basics here, I guess. Yeah, so let's not do it like that. Let's do it the same in stats as well. It's just really annoying, like, I feel like it's just a tiny change I wanted to make, and it's just changed everything. And like, in order to fix it, I have to completely change how I was doing things, which is to a better way anyway, but it's just annoying that like all I want to do, and maybe I should think about it like this, like I don't want to have to spend however long refactoring my code completely. I want to just get the next thing working. But then, yeah, I guess I do want to reduce friction because, like, in the the way that talents work is crap, and it could be a lot better. And I think the way to do that is with this stats thing. Yeah, maybe I don't have to do it with everything, so I won't do it here. So I can still be like... got to go have lunch. But yeah, I guess I should do this properly. So do it the way I ought to do it, and then yeah, like character Sean is, you know, this comes together quite well. Wait, what? Right, so what's the problem with that? And then basically when we make a hero, we can say so we have one called my stats. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so then they'll have a list of stats, and then if we have like a buff that has, we could just say like for each, or like find me the stat with that name and boost that one, so that we don't have to like do all stats by names all the time, basically. It's a pain in the bloody ass. But you know, I'm glad I've got this far, and yeah, time for lunch, and when I come back, yeah, I guess I'll be refactoring this stats code. So yeah, speak to you soon, bye. Be back at 1.